What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content related to helping you grow your app downloads and, more importantly, those revenues. And today we're going to talk all about the relationship between ASA. We're going to be saying that a lot. So that means Apple Search Ads, ASA, and ASO, which for those who are just joining and are newbie, App Store Optimization, SEO for the app stores, how they tie in together. Does running ASA campaigns help your organic keyword rankings? So breaking it down all with me is Emre Bilgic. I tried to say it, Emre, from MobileAction, and he's going to share some of the case studies that show you the impact of ASA on ASO. Emre, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, Steve. Well, great to be here. Been a fan of what you've been doing for quite some time now. So thank you for the introduction. So hey guys, my name is Emre. Emre Bilgic. I'm an Apple Ads Client Partner over at MobileAction/searches.com. I've been working in this field for quite some time now. Previously, I've been doing customer success management. So I've been the guy who's taking care of the community, so to speak, over at the MobileAction side. So great to be here.
Awesome. All right, Emre, as I said before we hit record, I was like, I haven't seen a direct impact by having ASA campaigns. We run a lot of ASA campaigns for our clients, and I haven't seen a huge impact with the keyword ranking. So I'm very curious to see what you guys have seen and for me to learn along with the audience. So why don't we kick it off with the presentation that you guys put together, and I'll let you lead and I'll have questions along the way.
So going on to, the more basics for the audience here for Apple searches. What is Apple Search Ads? Why is it important? Why are we doing it? Just to say, Apple Search has been something that's quite very new. It's been, launched in about like 5 years ago. Something that Apple is saying is, when it comes to iOS, 65% of the downloads are coming from, directly from search. So this is a really important metric, and this is what we're targeting through Apple Search Ads specifically as well. And so like right now we're seeing, and we're going to be talking about, how the ASO side is affecting the Apple Search Ads side and vice versa. There's still, Steve, I know like you're having some difficulties here, but there's still quite a strong correlation between the two. And we're going to be delving a little bit deeper into that, moving forward in what we're going to be talking today. All right. So
hey, Emre, I believe in Apple Search Ads. I actually am a big proponent of Apple Search Ads. And when people clients ask me, hey, what, they're really ready to start paid marketing, I actually recommend Apple Search Ads because from a down funnel perspective, we've actually seen the best performance. When you look at the apps flyer or the adjust data, you see the higher retention, higher subscription rates, all coming through Apple Search Ads versus like Facebook or Google Ads and such. Are you guys seeing the same thing on your end?
Exactly. I mean, the main reason why that is happening is because people who are coming in through Apple Search Ads, they're typing in certain specific keywords, right? So we're already targeting high intent users rather than looking at, okay, according to this demographic, this targeting, whatever this group is, I want to show my ad to these particular people, etc. like we do elsewhere. Right now, we want to show our ads, so to speak, to people who want to look for a car game. We want to do it for a finance ad. We want to do it for anyone who's in the interest of, I want to buy Bitcoin, right? So since we are able to do this through Apple Search as high intent users pour in, and like you said, we get really good results compared to other channels as well.
Okay, let's take a look at how it plays in with App Store optimization. So
absolutely. All right, so just to give like a quick overview, like you said, SEO for app stores, that's exactly what App Store optimization is. Something that everyone, talks about and, really likes to do. Like everyone thinks about just keyword optimization when it comes to ASO. There's a lot. Anything that you see on the product page is basically App Store optimization at this point. So there's quite a, hefty amount of information and stuff that you need to do on that end to have, good success. All right, so moving over to how keyword rankings and Apple's algorithm works. So this is something basically like a black box, right? Not many people really know how this algorithm works. Apple, is pretty much, like I said, like a black box, and we're trying to figure out what is working best and what is not working best. Apart from the general statistics, looking at the organic rankings of what we have, of course, that's where we're going to get relevancy information, moving forward. But there's also quite a few things that we did notice, especially in the past, especially with iOS 15 launching, where the factors that signal relevancy for Apple has been a little bit broadened compared to what we were seeing before, which is basically a little bit more heavier when it comes to tap through rates and conversion rates, right? So as you know, iOS 15 launched, CPPs came out, PPO came out, in-app events cards came out, like a lot of exciting things came out, which, specific for CPP is something that we can utilize quite very well in Apple Search Ads. So yeah, basically we've been able to see a strong correlation between the two, apart only from the organic rankings and download velocity. Now we're seeing tap through rates, conversion rates affecting the organic performance moving forward as well. All right, so this is something that is quite very hard to maximize, right? Normally speaking, tap through rates and conversion rates and stuff, like you need to have good screenshots, good icons, good preview videos, etc., to be able to boost these numbers up as much as possible. But yeah, so with these recent launches of CPPs and stuff, which is something that I'm going to be going into, just to explain how all of these things tie in together. We'll be moving forward and looking into a little bit more detail on that side.
Go for it.
Right. So moving forward, like I said, this is something that we can definitely be speeding up, when it comes to our organic performance and improving our Apple Search's performance alongside with it by trying to boost up these conversion rates and these tap through rates moving forward, rather than just solely focusing on organic rankings and the download velocity that we're getting. So this is something, like I said, that we did notice. And without getting ridiculous good organic rankings, let's say you're ranking between, let's say, 20 to 50, if you are able to achieve really good tap through rates and conversion rates, something that you could check when you're using Apple Search Ads as well, we did notice that it did start to improve the Apple Search Ads performance alongside the organic performance. So what we've seen increases in organic rankings. We've seen, increases in downloads. And since that happened, it again affected the Apple Search Ads side positively, which again affected the organic side positively. So it's quite a nice cycle of benefit between the two that, builds up each other, moving forward as, all sides are improving. So yeah, moving along, there's a specific case that we have here.
I wanted to jump in real quick. So should we focus in on it? Maybe you tell me, Steve, I'm going to get to that in the next slide, but should we be then focusing on the keywords that we have in the title, subtitle? When you say there's been an increase in the organic, is it specifically the keywords you're bidding on exact match? So I want to get a little bit granular. And if you're just starting out, should you just focus on the keywords that you have in your title and subtitle?
Absolutely. Like, one of the things that does definitely work is targeting the terms that you have in your metadata, that being their title, subtitle, App Store Connect keywords. Definitely a good strategy to start off the get-go. The best way that we could be doing this, rather than relying on what you have in your metadata, is if you have like a very strong ASO tool like MobileAction, you can go and see exactly what terms you're ranking for. Especially those rankings that you would have between 1 and 50, right? Those that would have potential in Apple Search Ads side. That would be the best starting point when we start to set up our Apple Search Ads campaigns. If we didn't do, an extensive keyword research and competitor research and stuff like that, if we go into, those kind of advanced tools and look at our entire pool of ranked terms, then we have immediately a gigantic list of keywords that are going to be working well in Apple Search Ads. And of course, understandably, because we have decent organic rankings, good TTRs, good CRs, we're all happy.
So should we be aiming for good CTRs, good tap through rates too? So good conversion rates, good tap through rates. And those are the keywords. If we find those keywords working well in Apple Search Ads, then maybe even moving them up into the title, subtitle. Would you recommend things like that? And would that help us more keyword rankings? Okay.
That's a really, really good point. Something that we do notice a lot, and this is something that we do with, some of our clients as well, is that we look at their Apple Search Ads performance for specific keywords. We look at the organic performance for the specific keywords that they have and the kind of granular kind of improvement in the both sides. So what we were able to notice is in cases where the organic rankings are uplifting really greatly, we've seen an immediate effect on the Apple Search Ads side, even though the bids are identical to each other, right? So it was $3 before, it's $3 now. They're getting more impressions simply because of the reason that they have more, they have a higher ranking in that particular keyword. And the same goes, the other way. One of the most important things, download velocity, right? When it comes to organic rankings. Since we're able to get more impressions, more taps, more installs, that's, bringing our download velocity up. the paid search, the paid downloads that we're getting in through Apple search ads. And now we're, putting that in the organic side, then the algorithm is saying, okay, great, you guys are doing awesome. So let me increase your ranking a little bit more up. And then again, it affects the Apple search ad side. And it's kind of like a cycle of benefit, like I said before.
Hey, if I could jump around here, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick in terms of like the most important? Is this ranked by an order of what you think is the most important, these signals?
No, not necessarily. The most important in this instance would be definitely like the organic, the rankings, and when it comes to like Apple Search Ads performance. But
Okay.
download velocity again is going to be something that's going to be super, super important. Something that we do notice is there is a very strong correlation right now between tap through rates and conversion rates. Something that we can track through Apple Search Ads specifically. So, and we have some examples moving forward there as well, with
Okay,
uplifts in
let's do it.
tap through rates and what kind of increases there. All right, cool. So yep. So one of the examples that we have over here for a specific term that we had for one of our clients, we did notice that their tap through rates have been increasing, granularly speaking, over the past days. And we started to notice, well, yeah, it seems that their organic rankings are also improving when this is happening, right? So this was, one of our first cues of saying, okay, let's look a little bit, deeper into this. Moving forward, there's also a very similar kind of example that we have when it comes to conversion rates. So over here, we can see that, the conversion rates compared to, a couple weeks before, it was slightly lower. Then it eventually started to increase. Of course, for anyone who's out there, conversion rates and this kind of data can be a little bit wonky. According to the days and stuff that are happening. What should we be doing here? Looking at the start date and the end date and the kind of granular kind of improvement there. So again, similar structure here. Organic rankings are improving, conversion rates are improving, or the other way around. All right. So moving forward, what we were able to see when it comes to Apple Search's performance and overall keyword performance, as we have mentioned, the details over at the tap through rates and the conversion rates and the organic rankings. And the download velocity, all of these are a lot of information to take in all at once, but definitely, we've been able to see the improvements. So one other example that we have, that's an amazing example that we've seen, one of our major clients that we had for a specific crypto finance app, we've seen a very, very great improvement in their tap through rates and conversion rates once we started to implement custom product pages for this particular client. When that happened, we have seen a significant decrease in their CPAs, understandably, because now we're getting more installs from the volume of people who are searching for the terms, right? We were able to see that their organic performance at the same time started to improve very greatly as well. So moving over to the next page, you can see here a little screenshot that we took from the MobileAction platform, specifically from our ASO report, where we started those custom product pages, and we saw that uplift in tap through rates and conversion rates, understandably, again, a little bit higher installs. We've seen a similar kind of hike when it comes to their organic performance for those keywords. The graph that you see there is the number of terms that that particular app was ranking for. And once we implemented these changes, we've seen an immediate jump. Something that I was doing by myself for one of my clients, not an example that we have on here, was I started off around mid-April for one of my clients, doing ASO, helping them with their ASO services, their ASO efforts, and we've been, looking at their metadata, what to put in, what not to put in, and alongside we're running Apple search ads, with custom product pages. So when we're doing that, I've noticed since the start, mid-April, right, which is a start date for their particular app, since then, now they are ranking for 2,200 separate keywords as of yesterday. So from 200 to 2,200, that's like Steve, you don't know that kind of that's what kind of a gigantic impact that might have on their organic side as well. And it made their Apple search ads cheaper, moving forward. Every single day, their CPA started to improve. And the kind of results that they were getting were improving as well. For discovering new keyword side. What we're doing in Apple Search Ads specifically, of course, is that we have discovery campaigns, we have broad match terms, we have search match on ad groups where we're able to find these terms. But definitely something that I said in the beginning as well is the organic side. Using those terms in your Apple Search Ads campaigns is going to be helping you very greatly, because the way that Apple calculates this is they look at how this term is relevant to your app. And this goes exactly the same structure, like the same mentality on the organic side, and is exactly the same on the Apple Search Ads side. So if you're super relevant, then it means you're probably, of course, going to have a certain decent amount of organic ranking. If that's the case, I can immediately assume that it should be performing at a certain degree on my Apple Search Ads side as well. So this is something that I would definitely suggest that you guys do, is checking your organic performers and checking what you're getting through the discovery and your broad match search terms, then going in, searching for those terms, see what kind of organic performance you're getting there, and kind of combining the two together, merging them together. All right, moving forward, we have actually an example where we've seen, how this, came into place, and something that we were really strongly seeing. So, something that I was focusing on a lot is the organic side and combining that with Apple Search Ads, right? Two sides perfectly working well. So for the Apple Search Ads side, if you're getting an organic ranking, we have a case where a client was bidding less than someone who did not have an organic ranking. And they were, well, number one, they were spending more for this particular keyword, and they were getting significantly more amount of impressions. So if you can move over to the next page, Steve, we can see the example there. Like we can see these numbers. And yeah, like for example, these guys, they're spending about 50% more. They're willing to spend 50% more for this particular keyword. They do not have an organic ranking, and they were really struggling to get any impressions from a very simple money management, super generic term, right?
Nice.
So this is why the organic side and why the ASO side is super important for Apple Search Ads. And if we can go back to the other page, to the previous example, we can see, for example, their organic rankings have been improving even with a very small amount of bid compared to the other guys. And their organic rankings were increasing. And this is why Apple Search Ads is super important for the ASO performance side as well.
Hey, I mean, I'm a little bit confused. Are you showing us, is this one app? Are these two apps? This is one app, this is second app, or is this one app? This whole thing is one app, and then this is the second app.
Yeah, it's the first one is one app, and the second one is a different app. So
Got it.
understandably, yeah, you can also kind of have a guess at who they might be. One is bidding in pounds, one is bidding in US dollars as well. So yeah, they're like kind of like different companies here that are bidding on the same terms on our side, and this is the kind of results that we're able to see. They were getting better organic performance, understandably getting more impressions, even though they had a lower bid. And the other guys, they were bidding more, they didn't have an organic ranking, and they were not able to spend through that particular keyword, although it's super generic, right? So this is something, we definitely suggest you guys to do. This is how you combine the ASO aspect, the keyword aspect of things, to boost up your, organics and boost up your Apple Search as a, performance. Spend less, basically bid less, spend less per user, still get better results if you're performing organically.
There's something exciting here. There's something exciting.
Right. Absolutely. So this is something that we recently launched. So in MobileAction, we have a very community-driven understanding when it comes to, creating our products and our product range. So what we've launched very recently is our free forever plan, our freemium tool, which includes all of the basic ASO services. It has a very limited but very useful ad intelligence and creative tracker. And also something that's going to be super very neat is if you come along and integrate your Apple Search Ads API in, you get 1 month free access to searchads.com, and you're also able to utilize Search Ads Intelligence, which shows you impression shares, which shows you who's bidding on these keywords, which shows you, for my own branded terms, who's trying to steal traffic from me, and you're able to see exactly how people are doing and how people are performing. So Steve, this is something that I really wanted to share for quite some time. I know this is what I've been, basically wanting to come to with the whole video as well. You can definitely go in here. Anyone who's watching, definitely go ahead, check this out. It's completely free for the simple ASO tools. And if you want to go ahead and connect your Search Ads API, you get 1 month of free access to searchads.com and Search Ads Intelligence tools, where you can see impression shares and basically spy on everyone else and see what, who's doing what in the market to build up your strategies.
Go check them out. It is mobileaction.co. Emre, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very nice to, be on the show. So great to be here too. Thanks.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.